Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world. Listen to the sound of my voice. It is a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. Yes, it is. Right now it's 73 degrees going up to a high of 81. So that's pretty nice. Just a small chance of rain. So that's a good thing as well. So happy to be here with you today. Today is my Friday. Listen, I know it's my Friday. It's my Friday, but that's okay. It's okay because I still got some news for you. Then I'm off to Miami. I got a terrible story about Miami, but I'll talk about that after I do the horoscopes. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today is Spotlight Thursday, so of course I have a guest today. But before I get to my guest, I got to give you your horoscopes. I got to give you some news about what's going on in and around Gwinnett County, and then I got a great guest coming up for you today. So be sure to stick around for that. We're gonna talk about entrepreneurship. His bio is like humongous. Like it has so much stuff in it, and I have so many things, so many questions, and so much stuff to unpack in this episode with him, because he comes from it from a biblical perspective as well as a general public perspective, and we're going to be talking entrepreneurship and how you can grow your business. I'm excited about that. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show because right now I know you guys want to hear my guest, but I know you want to hear your horoscopes too. So today is National Pralines Day. National Pralines Day and National Bomb Pop Day. Have no idea what bomb pop is. Here's what I do know. I love praline. The first time I ever ate praline, I was here in Georgia. I was still living in Jersey at the time, and my daughter was down here with her dad, and we met at the Underground. I came to pick her up and to take her back home, and we met at the Underground, and there was a praline store. I'm gonna call it a praline mini factory inside the Underground downtown Atlanta. So you guys remember the Underground downtown Atlanta, where you go underground and shop at all these different little stores. But they had a praline store, and that was the first time I had eaten praline. And when I tell you I fell in love with praline, man, it was so good. I was like, this is crazy. Because it was just so buttery, it had the pecans in it. It was so good. It was so good. So today is National Praline Day. Now I can't really eat sweets like that too much. Like if it's too super sweet, it makes me sick. It makes me nauseous. I want to like Earl and just. So I do eat praline sometimes, but it's not like I used to eat it. Like I may eat like a half of a praline patty, unless it's a tiny one. If it's like a tiny one, I'll eat a whole one. But like if it's like that big one, because the ones I got were like this big from the Underground, full of nuts. I'm like, oh my God, this is so good, but it's sweet. And so right now I can't eat that kind of sweet. It makes me nauseous. It makes me like I need to lay down for like about 20 minutes. It's crazy. I can't even explain it because all sweets don't do me like that. Just certain sweets. And so I know for a fact that I've eaten praline and be like, oh my God, I feel horrible. So anyway, today is National Praline Day and National Bomb Pop Day. Have no idea what a bomb pop is. None at all. But if you know, enjoy yourself. All right, let's get on with our horoscopes brought to you by noted astrologer Michael Thiessen for today, Thursday, June. I'm skipping June the 24th, 2021. We're going to kick it off like we always do, and that is with Aries. You must make sure that all your personal documents are in order. You will have a childlike approach today, big-hearted and full of spunk. Yeah, that's my Aries. That's pretty. He's like always like a big-hearted person. You're on to something tangible and need to act fast. Listen, you can't drag your feet today. You're on to something tangible, Aries. You cannot drag your feet. You got to act fast, which means you probably got to make some decisions really quick. Everybody's not good at making decisions on the flash like that. So today, if that's not your skill set right now to make quick decisions, yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to do that today, because there's some good things that could happen for you, but you got to act fast. You can't be tiptoeing around. You got to make some moves. Taurus, be aware that joint financial ventures could fall apart. Make plans that will take you to exotic destinations. Don't let your work and your personal life interfere with each other. Listen, be aware that anything you're doing right now that's jointly and financially connected, it just may not work right. It could fall apart. So be aware of that. Here's what I would say. Do not invest what you cannot lose. I'm just going to tell you, if you can't lose the money, then don't invest it. If you can't lose the time, then don't invest it. If you don't want to lose a friendship, you might not want to invest. I'm just trying to help you out, because these type of things could destroy your life. Investing with family and friends could destroy your life, and partnerships. Investing in businesses that don't really have a blueprint for success could destroy your life. Yeah, you want to be careful about all that today, Taurus. Be careful. Gemini, Be this is how Gemini started off. Be careful. Be careful not to misplace your wallet or your belongings. You can make money if you concentrate on producing services that will make domestic chores easier. Avoid being intimately involved with colleagues or clients. Listen, don't do it. Don't get involved with your customers. Don't get involved with your coworkers. You got to see both, and it could go way south if the relationship doesn't work out. So don't do it, Gemini. Just don't. Be careful. Don't do it. And hold on to your wallet because you could misplace it today. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. Cancer, don't hesitate to voice your opinions at a group meeting. However, keep your thoughts to yourself at home. At work, say what you got to say. At home, not today. Keep that to yourself. Don't let your emotions interfere with your efficiency. Don't let your health suffer because of abuse. Listen, don't, whether it's self abuse or abuse being inflicted on you, don't let people abuse you. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Your kids can be abusive too. Listen, I know there's a relationship between the parent and the child right now that's very abusive. And it's the parent, it's the child that's doing the abuse, but it's emotional abuse. And the parent is just, they're not even, I don't even know if they're aware that they've been emotionally abused by their kid. Because kids will do it to you. They will guilt you. You know, some of them make you feel like you're worthless. You just smack, you better get out of here. I'm just kidding. But anyway, don't let anybody abuse you today, Cancer. Nobody. Put your foot down, put your big girl panties on, your big boy underwear on, and don't let anybody abuse you today. Yeah, men get abused too. I know. We hear about women all the time, but there are men who are abused. They are. Leo, you may not be happy with members of your family. You may not be happy if members of your family are not pulling your weight. Overindulgence will be a problem if you are out in a social setting. Pleasure trips will be the most enjoyable and should lead to new and lasting friendships. Always nice to get new friends. Always. So you got to get outside though. You got to go on a pleasure trip. You got to go outside so you can meet these new people, Leo. You know, and don't overindulge. Don't overindulge on anything. And don't, your family may not be pulling their weight right now. Here's the thing. If it's going to stress you out to the point of no return, just fall back. Let the house stay a mess. I know the person with OCD is like, are you crazy, Audrey? I can't leave my house looking like this. Yeah, but it's stressing you out. Sometimes you just have to take a minute, take a beat and just say, you know what? I'm not going to let this stress me out. If they don't want to pull their weight, then they just got to, until I get ready, until I get back and crack the whip, I'm just going to let this stay just like it is. Now, here's the thing. I'm saying that, right? But if you got those people who never notice that the pile of clothes is piled up in the corner and it just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, there may be a problem. So what I'm saying may not work for you. You might have to crack the whip. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Virgo, you're in the mood to spend money. Don't gossip, and you will accomplish the most in the work environment today. You want to spend some money, but don't gossip, and you're going to accomplish a lot at work today. Okay, listen, I'm in the mood to spend some money too, Virgo. I ain't going to play. But I'm not spending it today. I got too much on my plate today. I'm going to spend some tomorrow before I go on this trip. Yeah, but I know you're in the mood right now. Me too. I'm in the mood right now to do it right now, but I'm not. And you're going to accomplish a lot at work today. All right, listen, I'm going to a song. I'll be back after this song to give you more of the horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Michael Thyssen. So stay tuned.
I can see you looking at me. Yeah, my eyes are open wide. So you want me to set you free? Take a walk with me outside. Tell me everything about you. Yeah. 'Cause I really wanna know. You can ride with me forever. Yeah, anywhere you wanna go. Night is over the park and a few bright stars. I give you the moon and my all is yours. Don't hesitate, just give me your all. Just give me your all. So let's fly into a dream I want tonight. I'm so in love. meditate. Just give me your all. Just give me your all. So let's fly into a dream I want tonight. I'm so in love. Yeah, let's go for gold. So let's fly into a dream I want tonight. I'm so in love. Yeah, let's go for gold. Yeah.
Welcome back, welcome back. It's your girl Audrey Bell Kearney giving you the daily horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Micah Thiessen. We're gonna pick it up with Libra. Do not get upset about situations you cannot change. You may have problems with those you live with. Travel in pursuit of pleasure and knowledge. Listen, if you can't change it, don't even stress yourself out about it. Don't even get upset about it. You can't change it. I know you want to get upset and be mad. You can't change it. So don't get upset. Move on, Libra. Go ahead and do something else. Travel. Plan to travel. Travel in pursuit of pleasure and knowledge. Have some fun while you're learning. That sounds amazing, doesn't it? Scorpio. Exaggeration or deception coupled with overindulgence might be a problem. Listening can be more valuable than being a chatterbox. Delve into your work if you can't make amends at home. Listening. That's why you get 2 ears, 1 mouth, because listening can be valuable. Stop being a chatterbox. Let somebody else talk. I know. I've been accused of being a chatterbox before. I get it, Scorpio. We like to talk. Exaggeration or deception coupled with overindulgence may be a problem. Yeah. So that just sounds like you're doing a whole lot, or somebody's trying to do a whole lot with you. Exaggeration and deception definitely is a recipe for a mess. I'm just trying to help you out. Sagittarius. Things are looking good for you, so open your eyes and get to it. Short trips will be educational. Don't let your mate force you into making the decision that you aren't ready to make. Yeah, things are looking good for you, so open your eyes and get to it. Get ready. If you already ready, you ain't got to get ready, Sag. When you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, and things are looking good for you. Yep. Don't let your mate force you into making decisions that you are not ready to make. Listen, don't let nobody force you to do anything you don't want to do. Just say no. The most powerful 2-letter word in our alphabet, no. I know. I'm just trying to help you out. Capricorn, you may want to make drastic changes concerning your personal partner. However, romantic opportunities are evident. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Relationships will form if you get out and do things that you enjoy. Ooh, that's a lot right there, Capricorn. Make drastic changes concerning your personal problems. Romantic opportunities are evident and relationships will form if you get out and do things today. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot right there in your relationship sector. There's a lot going on right there. You have to sit and listen. Before you go out that door, just do an inventory of the whole relationship, because you may meet that person that's going to want to make you leave that person, but you don't know if that's a good person. Just listen, do inventory on the relationship before you go out the door. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to help you out. That's all I'm saying. Aquarius, you'll be able to dazzle others with your obvious charm and your outgoing nature. You might find added popularity with those around you today. You will be best to work late in order to avoid such disharmony. I think that's so sad. I think it's so sad that you would rather do overtime than to go home. Now, it's one thing if you love your job, but if your reason for doing overtime is I just don't want to go home. Let me tell you something. I had a business partner, and he had a girlfriend, and he said to me, he would just ride around the block of his house until he saw the lights go off because he knew she was asleep. That is sad. He's one of those really good guys, right? He's like one of those really good guys who was outgoing, who was like entrepreneurial, had like 2 jobs and 2 businesses. Like, he was that person. And he said to me, I just want somebody to support me. She's not supportive and she likes to argue. So he said he would get off work, literally had 2 jobs, and just drive around the block until she went to sleep. That's sad. right? So you rather stay at work or drive around the block because you just don't want to go in the house and be around that person. That's pretty sad. But there are people who are like that. They'll stay at work all day. And it's really because you think they're trying to make money, but it's really because they really don't want to be home. Like they dread going home. My thing to that person is leave. Like, does somebody have a gun in your head? Why make yourself be miserable like that? Just leave. Yeah, you probably say, well, that's easier said than done. Not really. Just go. If you're that miserable where you don't even want to go in the house and be around that person, just go. Like I never got that part. Like that miserable. Like, I've been in a situation where like, man, I'm pissed. But I'm talking about miserable to the point where I don't want to see your face. Like I need you to be asleep when I get in the house because I don't want to sleep in the same room with you. Why? Leave. Go be happy. The other person probably want to be happy too. Both of y'all just being codependent and misery. I'm just saying. Last but not least, my fellow fish Pisces, your horizons. Broaden your horizons and look into programs that will teach you awareness and relaxation. I definitely need relaxation. Ask others to help, or you may feel that a burden is weighing you down. Your lover may cost you financially. Uh-oh, fish. We don't like to hear that. We don't need nobody costing us financially, do we? No, we do not. Listen, you better ask for some help. Something is weighing you down. The burden of him or her financially on you. That burden is weighing you down. But ask for help because we don't need to be weighed down and we don't need nobody touching the coins, right? Right. All right, listen, that's all the horoscopes I got for today. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. As a matter of fact, guys, I don't think I will be back until Monday, maybe. Remember, I'll be in Miami for the weekend. And so if I can bring you your horoscopes, at least I'll do that. But I'm not sure of my situation. So I may not be back until Wednesday. However, if I can come in on Monday and give you at least your horoscopes and the national holiday, I will definitely do so. So anyway, that being said, I'll be back next week to bring you more of the horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Micah Thies. And now let's get on to some news you can use before I bring in my guest, who I see is in the green room waiting and standing by. But I gotta just talk about this real quick. So, the rent moratorium is set to expire at the end of this month. And so for a lot of people, that means that they will be evicted. And so President Biden is expected to extend the eviction moratorium through July, which is going to help a lot of people. And because a lot of people still are not back to work. Now, here's the thing. Employers are saying that they have jobs and people won't take them. Now, listen, you better get you a job because this could possibly be extended to July. So you go ahead and get the job so you don't face eviction in the next month. Because August, you may not have that luxury of saying, you know what, I'm not going to be evicted. Get the job while the jobs are out there. And they are out there. You got to go get them. But anyway, he's planning, they're thinking that he's going to extend it through the end of July, which is going to help some people. Some people can't find a job. But there are tons of jobs out there. And the employers are saying that they can't find people to come and work. I was at a restaurant yesterday at a networking event, and they had hiring signs all over the door. And she still said that we can't even open up the back section of the restaurant because they can't find people to hire. I think that's crazy. We went from having no jobs to having an abundance of jobs and no employees. That sounds nuts. There was a building that collapsed in Florida, and my prayers go out to the families and friends of the people that were affected. I know one person lost their life. I'll be in Florida Saturday, and just praying for the family that that everybody else make it out okay. One person did not make it out so far, and so that's pretty sad. John McAfee was found dead in Spanish prison. If you don't know who he was the person that created the software McAfee. So whenever you have a virus on your computer, John McAfee was the person that created that software that helps us protect our computers against malware and viruses. He did really well, but he had some issues. Like there's a documentary that I watched about him. He had some real issues. But anyway, he was in Spanish prison. Apparently he killed himself. And so that's pretty sad too, because he was a genius. But sometimes geniuses suffer from mental illnesses that we can't see because we only see the genius. But I saw a documentary that he produced. It was horrific. And I was like, oh my God, because you wouldn't think of that coming from someone who has done so well for us in the community, in the computer space. But anyway, I got to give you all this last bit of news before I bring my guests up. So yesterday, DA District Attorney Patsy Austin Gaston signed an agreement with the program RED to help them to be a partner with the program they got. It's called RED, and RED is a wonderful program. I got an opportunity to read to hear from the founder of the program. His name is David Lee Windecher, and David Lee, he's an attorney here in Georgia, but he had a criminal record, and he tells a story about how he was able to overcome his criminal record, become an attorney with a lot of hurdles that he was able to jump, but because he had a criminal record, become an attorney, and now he's helping other young folks who are in the same situation. They have a criminal background, and you know, when you have a criminal background, it holds you back. You know, it could hold you back, especially if you don't know that resources are out there to help you. And so I was at the event yesterday with DA Gatson, and she's so happy for her partner, for her team, and her to be partnered with RED. And RED stands for rehabilitating and enabling dreams. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's what RED stands for. And this program is really there to help these young people go through a 12-month system, which is amazing. They showed us a video about the system, and I thought it was just amazing. So it's a 12-month system. It helps them address everything from, you know, how to get your records expunged. Here's restrictions, not expungement. Here's record restriction. It talks about entrepreneurship, financial education. It is just an amazing program. And so if you go to their website, it's called stoprecidivism.org, stoprecidivism.org, and you'll see how the whole program is laid out. Like month 1 is orientation, month 2 is personal assessment, month 3 is mentor assignment. So they assign their students to mentors. Month 4 is know your rights, because you really need to know your rights. Month 5 is your voice matters. Month 6 is anger management, because a lot of these young people do suffer from anger management. Month 7 is emotional intelligence. Month 8 is substance abuse. Not all of them have substance abuse, but some of them do. And so there's the part of the system is being able to help them through that. Month 9 is finance and banking. Month 10 is employment training, which is great. Month 11 is employment search. Month 12 is record restriction. Now, I know on the new program, this is on their website, but on the program he showed us yesterday, entrepreneurship is one of those months. And I think it's right after banking and finance. So it's probably like, it says 12 months, but I think it says 12 months. It's a 12-month program, but I think it's actually 13 months because I did see entrepreneurship there, and I got excited about that because I'm always excited about entrepreneurship. Anyway, DA Gaston and her team are partnering with RED to make sure that they address recidivism. Here in Gwinnett County, they want to make sure that our youth between the ages of 17 and 28 can come out, even if they've made some bad choices, come out and get employment or start a business and have the necessary skills, tools, and the people to help them do that. So that was a great program yesterday. I had the opportunity to be there. Listen, go to the Facebook page. You go to Gwinnett District Attorney's website. You'll be able to see that live stream video there. Now I'm working closely with the DA's department. I am the community liaison for the DA's department here in Gwinnett County. And so I'll be putting up more information about what the DA office is offering, all the programs. They have a lot of programs coming out of there. So you'll be seeing me putting out a lot of press releases about all the things that the district attorney office is putting out, because I am the community liaison for them. And so just make sure to check out the Facebook page over on Facebook. That's the Gwinnett District Attorney. There, we have our own Facebook there, and you'll see information there from this program. You'll also see information, see the video from yesterday, which is so touching. You will see David tell his story. You'll see 2 of the students who went through the program already share their stories and their feelings about the program and how it's helping them succeed in life. So check it out there, because I think you're going to find it very interesting. And you may know somebody who is going through some stuff right now because they had some, they made some bad choices when they were younger, and now they're struggling because they need to get a job and things like that. So check it out. All right. So, and again, that website is stoprecidivism.org. Stoprecidivism.org. All right. All right, let's get on with the show. Listen, I have a guest today. It's Thursday, Spotlight Thursday. And my guest is a native of Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. His name is Dr. Sinclair in grade 3rd. He has a bachelor's degree in criminology, which he's probably found that part really cool to talk about, from the University of Maryland. He's a doctorate of divinity. He has a lot of things going on. I'm so happy to have him here. He has instituted a bunch of programs to help people get on track. He has an entrepreneurship program. You know, entrepreneurship, I get excited when you talk about entrepreneurship. I get highly excited. So, you know, although we can talk about many things, my guess is that I'm surely going to be talking about entrepreneurship. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Sinclair Gray to the Good Morning Gwinnett show. Let's pop him in here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on this beautiful day. Thank you once again.
Oh man, you're very welcome. You know, I see people and I see them on LinkedIn. I see them everywhere, and I was like, I gotta have this person on. And so I told you just to reach out to Dr. Sinclair and just let him know I would love to have him as a guest. And I'm so glad you accepted the invitation.
Well, thank you. The pleasure is all mine. I feel humble and I feel honored to be part of this show. Good morning, Gwinnett.
So I was looking at I was looking at your bio, and I was like, oh God, somebody's bio is longer than mine. Your bio is longer than mine. He has a lot on that bio. So listen, tell my listeners a little bit about, if you had to introduce yourself, what would you tell us? So go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm Sinclair Gray. I'm originally from the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I live here in Georgia. I've been in Georgia for about 7 years. I am an entrepreneur, business trainer, speaker, writer, and I'm also a pastor of a church in Alamo, Georgia. I'm an AME pastor, married, and I just love life. Even though, the bio says I've accomplished a lot, and I thank God for that. I always try to remain humble, because I definitely know, titles and things don't make me. I'm comfortable in the skin the skin that I'm in, and I just want to try to help as many people as possible, and just try to be very authentic and transparent, and try to, as they say, keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Now I gotta tell you this. Where the heck is Alamo, Georgia?
Alamo, Georgia is wow, that's an interesting place. I just got appointed at a church. It's in Wheeler County. If anyone is familiar with McRae and Dublin, it's about 26 to 27 miles from there. In fact, according to the census report, is part of the county is Wheeler County. It is the poorest county in the United States.
What?
And it is home to the largest private prison, Wheeler Correctional Institution.
Wow.
Actually, for those in Georgia, if you want to pretty much understand, if you take 75 south, like you're going to Savannah, you take 75 to 16 east. Once you hit 16 east, you go down about 42 miles to exit 51, which is like the Pilot truck stop. Take that exit, then you're about 26 miles down there. It's a small area. It's a dry county. No grocery stores, not much of anything happening down there. They have things, but not much of anything happening down there. So I just got appointed down there the third week of April. So we're trying to do big things at Alamo. I never heard of Alamo either until I got appointed. I'm like, Alamo? Where's Alamo?
I was like, where's Alamo, Georgia? Because I was born in Georgia, but I was raised in Jersey, so I've been back like you about 8 years. Well, this year made 8 years, so I'm still learning my way around. I'm from Albany, and I got to tell you a quick story. So I was watching YouTube one night. I love to watch like the tiny house videos and the container homes built. I'm watching that, right? So this guy pops up. He has a show called the best places to live in Georgia, right? And he was like, and it's not Albany, it's the worst. I was like, oh. Which is crazy. I'm from Albany, but Albany is stuck. And I go down. I'm going down there on the 9th of July. Actually, I feel like it's stuck. Ever since I was a little girl, it looks the same. And I had a relative pass a couple of years ago, and we were in a limousine. We were driving. It was just tore up. And I was in the back, like, who is the mayor of this town? Like, who's on the planning committee? I'm in the back of the limo, just going on. Like, who's on the planning department? I mean, look at this place. So the limo driver kind of got annoyed with me. She's like, we have a great mayor, and people just need to want to take care of their yards. I was like, I said, what? I'm so sorry. I did not mean to insult your mayor. I'm so sorry. I apologize. She probably is a wonderful person. And I just left it like that. Right. So when I was getting out the limousine to go in the house, she said, well, I guess you're gonna come down here. And this is how she said, I guess you're gonna come down here and run for mayor. I said, I consulted with my husband and he said I could, but only if you guys flew me in every day. She was like, and she rolled her eyes. It was so funny. It was so funny. But a lot of those small towns like that, they have the small town charm, but economically they can't really survive or they can't even thrive because I don't know. To me, I feel like it's like a lack of community development. What's your thoughts
I,
on that? Because
I agree.
I could get on this subject
Oh
and
no, no, no.
stay.
I agree, Trillis. I've been down there, for about 2 months now. I think it's a lack of vision. I think, I've
Mm-hmm.
already met the city council members, the mayor, um, new mayor. I think a lot of it is a lot of people stuck in their own ways with no vision. When you have a lot of people, and I hate to say it, who live impoverished and they can't see anything better, and many times they don't want anything better, then they just remain stuck into it. And when I went to my first city council meeting, they were kind of bragging about how much money the prison brings into the city, and I'm like, wait a minute, why do you have a prison that's here? If anything, I come with the mentality of let's get rid of the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
I think too many people are locked up that don't need to be locked up. And when you're looking at the private prison as a huge factor for jobs and for paying this and paying that, then we have a problem. Yes, I know people need jobs, but let's not have them in the job in the prison system. Let's demolish the prison system. Let's create opportunities. So I think in that case, people have to have a vision, and I think you need some people to come down in, and forgive my language, to raise a lot of hell and,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and to shake up some things. And I
Mm-hmm.
know when I got that assignment to pastor a church in Alamo, I told my wife, I said, I feel such a calling on me, not just for the church, but also for the city and community. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be there. I may be assigned there for a year, two, or whenever. But I know just being there, have a commitment not just to the people in the church, but also to the community. So in 2 months, we're doing some things already. We're not trying to promote the church in a sense, so forgive me.
Oh no, go
Um,
ahead.
it's called Mayfield Zion AME Church, and one of the things that we're doing on July 1st is I've set up a program with the local food bank. We're going to feed 250 families
Mm-hmm.
and on there. So when other churches in the area and that community said no, I came and said, you know what, we're going to do it because there's too many people who are homeless. Homeless. There's too many people who are hungry. Whether they're the elderly, underserved, we're going to feed the people. So every other month, we're committed to feeding 250 families. And in the process, we're also doing some social justice work to help in the preschool to prison pipeline. So we got that scheduled for the third week of July. So I'm trying to come in here and try and do a whole lot. So
Well, I could tell let me ask you this because this is what I find. I love small towns. I was born in Albany, but I was raised in Newark, so Newark is not small by any
I
stretch of the
know Newark.
imagination.
Well, I've spoken in Newark a couple times.
Yeah, it's not small. Newark alone has about just the city has about 250,000 people. So
Yeah.
that's like most of Gwinnett County. That's like a third of Gwinnett County. So it's not small by any stretch of the imagination. But like you said, I feel like a lot of small towns they do have a limited vision. But let me ask you this: are you getting pushback from like the government there, like the local government? Because that's what I find. Like a lot of times, you go in, you want to see things change, you want to be a catalyst for change, and then you get pushback from the local government. Are you getting acceptance for the programs that you're running, or are you getting some pushback because people don't like change?
Well, surprisingly, I'm getting support. Like I said, I've only been at 2 months. My first council meeting, I came in there, told them some ideas, but I had one council member who doesn't look like us, tell me, said, well, you know what, Pastor, I'm happy you down here. Last time I went to your church, it was for a funeral. Oh, okay, that's nice. I said, but you know what, my job here, the church meets once a month. I said, you know what, we want to build up the church, we want to build up this community. So I told him, I said, you could be satisfied just coming for a funeral. That's your lifestyle. That's not me. And I think I kind of shook him because number one, not only am I a preacher, but I also believe in being very active in the social justice front. and we just can't do things the way we used to. Just because you sit on the city council and you're happy with your little few dollars and you're retired, I'm coming down here and I have a responsibility. Either you go to work with me or I'm going to work around you. So,
All
so
right.
surprisingly, I have not gotten any pushback. That's not to say I don't expect pushback, but right now, I plan on going full steam ahead.
I know one of your initiatives is to feed the homeless, but is there, from first of all, what's the population of Alamo?
I want to say to the statistics, I want to say between 35 to 3,900.
Okay,
It's
okay.
only it's
So,
part of a county called Wheeler County, and it's only
mhm,
two cities that make up that county, Glenwood and Alamo.
okay. So it's a small county. I know your initiative right now is to make sure that people have food. When you look at the economics of the area, what industry outside of the prison would you say is there? Because I know when I think about Albany as an anchor town because it has an airport, and I think about all of the smaller towns that surround it. To me, if I was on the planning commission or something, I'd be like, listen, we have an anchor town. We should be bringing business from all these towns. So we shouldn't look like this. We should look like the suburb compared to other places. What would be the industry there, or do you have to go in there and create an industry outside of the
Yeah.
prison industry?
You pretty much have to come in and create an industry. In Alamo, there's no grocery store.
Mm.
People get their groceries either from the Dollar General or from the local Circle K, or they have to drive 10 to 15 miles one way to get groceries.
What?
It is a
Wow.
dry county.
How
So,
close are they to like transportation? Is there an airport close by, like
no.
Savannah or Augusta? Nothing.
Oh, Savannah is probably about an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes away.
Wow. So it sounds like you're gonna have your work cut out for you because
Yes,
I'm just trying to think about, do they have a lot of pecan trees there? Like what
that's a good question.
peaches,
Not,
orchards, or
not sure at the
farmland?
moment. Not sure. I know they have a senior center that feeds a lot of the seniors.
Yeah.
I've connected with some of the with the director there. That's who's helping me with the food distribution. Like I said, I'm coming from out of town, so I have to make my connections with people. So they're very helpful. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
I could just imagine. I went to St. Lucia a few years ago. I had to speak, and I was speaking on podcasting and film distribution and all that stuff. And they had a cocoa. It was a cocoa farm that just
Wow.
farmed the cocoa and did nothing with it. And I was like, so here I am, the visionary. Like, so you mean tell me y'all growing like chocolate, and it's just like hanging on the trees, and it's like we don't know what to do with it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so oh my God, Dr. Sinclair, it was so crazy. So they were big for bananas. Like everywhere you went, there were bananas. There were bananas hanging in my hotel. Like I would walk up the steps in my room, and there was a banana tree right down the middle. I thought it was so beautiful. I was like, oh, those real bananas. It was crazy. So you can see the bananas everywhere. And I said to them, well, why do you have so many bananas just hanging on the trees? They said because we lost our contract with America because Chiquita knocked them out the box.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I said to them, there's a lot of tourism that come in here. Why don't you guys figure out a way to leverage all the people that visit the island? And it's a small island. The population was like 177,000. But you have a cocoa farm. Even if you did tours of the cocoa farm or you did like like education on bananas, something, but they couldn't think outside the box. So
Oh
I
my goodness.
get that. Yeah, like they can't think outside of the box. So, when you have entrepreneurship, you got a program and everything. What do you tell people who say, you know what, I'm here, I'm in Alamo, I want to start a business, but I am totally oblivious to like what the first steps are and making that jump.
Well, that's something I plan on working with in a few months. Number one is changing their mindset. You have to forgive me, my voice is a little bit hoarse, so forgive me. Changing their mindset to realize doesn't matter where you live, as long as you have the vision to want to do better, we can work with you. So one couple things I'm going to do is kind of work with them on, first of all, changing their mindset to the proper vision. Understand that where you live doesn't have to be your end all be all. Just because you live there, okay, fine, you can create something for the community. You have to think not just community, but you think nationally and globally. What are you good at? Is this going to be an internet-based business? Is this going to be a product business or a service business? So I want to bring some entrepreneurship programs down into that community. Um, the difficult thing, and I don't want to make excuses, that I'm 2.5 hours away from down there one way. So I'm down there
Mm-hmm.
maybe once a week. Um, that's just my time. Like I'm down there, of course, the first Sunday of every month, but trying to meet enough people to put different programs in place, and hoping next week when we have this food distribution, meeting more people from the community and really trying to bring in entrepreneurship programs on there. I want to bring in a vision board workshop for the people. My wife does vision board workshops, so I'm going to try to sweet talk her into coming down and doing the vision board workshop, not just for church members, but also for people in the community, and just working with the community leaders and say, look, we're here to help. If you want to help, we're going to do it. If you say no, we're still going to do it anyway. Anything
Mm-hmm.
inside the church, we have complete control over.
Mindset is everything, and everything that you do. Mindset and prayer, that's everything. When you
Exactly.
have people who are living below the poverty line, what are some of the steps that they can even start to take to even shift the mindset? Because without that mindset, because it's what we do is not easy. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. However, I can't see myself doing anything other than that for real.
Exactly.
But how do you get people to make that shift? Because right now they're in survival mode. Like if there are people that have families and they're not eating, or they have families and they're worried about whether or not, President Biden is going to help them not get evicted at the end of this month. How do you help them get that mindset shift?
Well, I think you have to first talk to them, find out where they are. Unfortunately, you have different aspects of people coming from different financial backgrounds. You have the elderly, and then you have the younger generation. Can't really verify, I hate to say alleged, but there are some young folks I've been told that's taking advantage of the system. If they're getting over on the system. So if they're getting over on the system, what's the chance of them wanting to do better? And I think a lot of times what you have to do is try to tap into who they are, get to know them as an individual, get to know them as a person. And I think once you get to know an individual and you start talking to them, but more importantly, listening to them, then you're able to find out what they're good at, what they're passionate about. Too many people, they have a passion, but they don't know how to bring it to fruition. That's one of the things I do in my business, in coaching. I help people with their vision. What are you good at? And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I'm sure you've probably heard many times, excuse me, many people say, well, I want to do this, but the market is saturated. Well, I don't care if the market is saturated. You have to find something that's going to make you stand out. You have people say, well, I want to own my own insurance company. Well, guess what? There's thousands and thousands of insurance companies. But what's going to make you stand out? I want to be a financial planner. Whatever it is, there's always something that's unique about you. And tapping into your particular energy, tapping into your particular likes and dislikes, and going from there. But I think what you said is perfect. Letting people know it's not easy. It's a struggle every day being an entrepreneur. There's always new challenges. There's new hurdles, struggles, especially from the service perspective. If you don't have, yes, that's not the time, not the brick and mortars, but if you have the storefront, you figure, okay, I'm open up from 10 to 8. People kind of know where I'm at. You're doing your marketing advertising, but people are coming to you. But what do you do when you have to go to people? What do you have to do when you have to go to networking events here, they're everywhere? And
Mm-hmm.
and you have to constantly, I mean, you know how to constantly stay on the grind, but also have a balance. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, they have the wrong concept. They think, well, I have to be working 24/7. When you start, you can't work 24/7. It's impossible. You need
Mm-hmm.
to sleep. You need to take care of your mind. You need to take care of your body. You need to take care of your health. So I think the whole concept, balance, and everything goes into that.
I was in a mastermind meeting last Friday, and there was a gentleman there, and his thing was about he was a I don't think he was a financial planner. I want to say he was in the medical field, but
Okay.
his thing was he was like, I feel like I have to build relationships. I have to go to all these events. And I said to him, you are going to burn yourself out. I said, you need to learn how to leverage technology. I said, it's okay to go to like some, but if you're trying to do 4 and 5 events a day, when are you really doing the business? I get building a relationship, but there are other ways that are more efficient to build a relationship than just hitting all these events. And I said to him, I said, think about educating people on what you do. Because he did something that it wasn't very clear. And I said, just from you talking to us, we had even though you told us the name of what you do, we don't know what you do. I said, so why don't you just, educate people? He said, well, how do I do that? I said, listen, you got a phone, start talking, start videotaping. Just start creating content and putting it out there so people know who you are. I said, and that's going to help you. And that way you don't have to just go to every event, 5 events. I said, I would lose my mind. I was doing it at one point. I was networking, and I hate networking. I'm so not a networker because I'm so not, I don't like having to make up a conversation. Like, I'm a person that we sit down and we're having like coffee or tea or whatever, and we're having a conversation. I could do that. But when I gotta walk up and I gotta say, hey, how you doing? I'm Audrey and I do a podcast. Oh, it's so inauthentic for me. So it's hard for me to do that. I tell her, I used to tell my daughter, she likes to act. I said, I'll be a horrible actress. She said, why? I said, because I gotta pretend. I'm not good at pretending, And so when you're networking, you're kind of pretending, you know what I mean? So I was telling him, like, you got to start creating content. And when you start to create content and put it out, people will get to know you and build relationships that way. And so I said all that to say, there are a lot of people that you're probably going to run across that have these amazing gifts that they don't even think they have. They don't even think of them as gifts. Like, if you know how to drive a tractor and not make it flip over and get it cut or plowed in like an hour, that's a skill. Because I probably get on the same tractor. Listen, let me tell you what I did, Dr. Sinclair. My husband cuts the grass. We got a riding lawnmower. He cuts the grass. It looks so easy, right? I'm like, well, how hard can it be? You're going to get on there, you're going to drive. Well, I get on the lawnmower, right? And I start to drive and I come up on a hill and I feel like I'm going to flip over. I was like, oh, no. I got to get off. I got to get off the lawnmower, even though it's like, I was like, no. I have to get off the lawnmower. I'm going to let you do your thing. All of these things are skills. So when it's time to show people how to tap into the skills, I know you say you help them with their vision. What are some of the steps you help them take to create the vision and help and believe in the vision? Because anything else outside of that, you got to believe in the vision. What are some of the steps you help them do that?
Well, I have them write it down. Of course, write it down. Then I want to find out what are their goals, what are their short-term goals, what are their long-term goals. Are they currently doing what they're doing now? Are they doing it for free or are they getting paid for it? And kind of finding out, I want to kind of get an idea. Let's look at, your example. If someone's out there doing landscaping, okay, great. You have a mower, okay, how many houses are you cutting? Well, I cut 5 houses. Do you get paid? And I'll start asking them and I start trying to find out what is it that they love about it. Great, let's turn this into a business. If you're doing Audrey's house, you got to tell Audrey you can't do free anymore. Tell Audrey that, what, you're really trying to start a business now, work for price, and now we're going to start getting, of course, all the legal and all that aspects that, we deal with that, as the process. But understand that, you have a skill, letting them know you have to market yourself and you have to become marketable. You have to, branding, marketing, you have to be the expert and just letting people know. And I tell you, I find that just talking to people just in general, when I ask them questions, they may say, I never really thought about that. I like it. And I'm dealing with a few clients right now. They're scared. They say, well, you know what? I like making the money. I just hate doing the paperwork. I love doing my job. I hate the paperwork. Okay, great. This is what you need to do. You need to hire somebody, outsource that. Find somebody who can just do that once a week or whenever. Let them handle it. You learn the process of it, but turn that over to them and you focus on what you're good at. And I tell people, don't allow fear to stand in your way. And I think too many times people are nervous and they get fearful because they may say, well, okay, I like baking, but I don't want to do the paperwork. I don't want to do the calculation. Okay, fine. We'll bring somebody that will do the calculation for you. That will tell you how much it costs for butter, for this, for that, you name it, whatever it is. Now, so when you charge Audrey and whoever, okay, for this particular cake, $50 or $60. You know everything from that perspective. So I think people have to realize, find out what you're good at, what you don't like, but also try to bring people in that will help you and support you. So
I got to my cousin. She's in Philly. She
okay,
reached out to me probably about 6 months ago. She's like, now she has a Instagram. She makes these beautiful cakes. I'm talking about all kinds of cakes. What I can tell you is that she is not afraid to price her cakes, but she wasn't structured properly. So she was working with a coach in Philly who kind of just blew her off. And so she called me crying. I'm like, what's the matter? It's like, I got to get my business set up. I said, well, what happened? She's like, I have all this money in my house cash that I can't take to the bank because I don't have a business bank account. But I can tell you, Dr. Sinclair, one of the things she was not afraid to do was price her cakes. I even went. I said, well, how much is the cake? She's like, I charge like 110, but I gave him a discount. It was like 100. That's like a $10 discount. She does not wince on that. So I want to talk about two things. First, I want to talk about funding the business. Like when you're in areas that are pretty challenged and people who are in those areas that are pretty challenged, what funding options do they have to start a business if they don't have the resources at hand or some kind of grant or something? What funding options do they have in those situations?
good question. Good question. Now I'm going to preference this when I say Alamo. This is my first time working in a community like this, but I've dealt with a lot of folks in major cities. So what I've done, I've partnered with many banks in the
Mm-hmm.
land and different other places. So I've built relationships. You mentioned you don't like network. I wrote the book on networking. And I believe in building relationships, not so much to just get business from them, but to find out how we can work together so that I can call up people and say, you know what, this is what I need. I have a client that's looking for this. Walk with them through the steps. So I think a lot of people, whether it's through loans, whether it's through grants, or whether it's through just asking people for money to help out, to invest in their business. When I when I lived in Maryland and I got terminated because the guy wanted to go a different way in his business. And okay, fine, I have my own business now. I'm going to start my own business, start doing coaching and speaking. And I needed $200. And I called up a friend. Hey, look, man, can I borrow $200? I'm gonna get the A, B, C, and D. He was like, look, man, this is not gonna be a loan. I'm gonna just give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And from that
Mm-hmm.
point on, I kept going from there. And I think a lot of people need to really ask themselves the question, what is the funding for? Number two, can you barter and net? I like to use the word barter with people
Mm-hmm.
and just negotiation. If there is, and I'm gonna put you on the spot, Audrey, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
If I am a baker, I'm gonna use the baker. If I am a baker and I know you love my cakes, I may say, well, look, I'll do this. Let me come on your show every week for 10 minutes to do a commercial and I'll bake your cake for free. Or I give it to you instead of 110, I'll give it to you for 20. You may say, okay, fine, that's working. So now I'm getting more revenue in. I've saved money on my
Mm-hmm.
advertising. And what's happened is that you're getting a cake, but also
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting funding. I'm getting indirect funding from new customers and new clients. So I don't have to run to the bank. I don't have to worry about grant writing. And I think a lot of times, all the SBs, I think you need to find a great business attorney. I think you need to have a great accountant, a great bookkeeper. But I also think what people really need to do nowadays, they need to develop a great relationship with their local bank, with whomever they're trying to bank with. They need to know the tellers. They need to know customer service reps, and they need to know the bank managers and the VP. I mean, I've heard so many stories about them with the PPE loans. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people weren't getting them, and some of the bank vice presidents would tell me, "They said, I don't know these people."
Mm-hmm.
And I have someone coming on my networking show every week that says, "Look, if I know you and we have a relationship, now when you're coming for this particular loan, I can now recommend and push." I have a client right now who's going to get a $500,000 loan, and I introduced her to this bank. Can't name the bank name. VP about 3 years ago. And I'm in contact with the VP almost like once a week, working with the client, and the client said, you know what, I'm going to get the loan. Reason being, they're working together. They know the situation. The VP has come down to this particular client's office. They know what they want. They kind of know everything. They have a feel for the business. So when they submit the loan package, okay, now you have an ally. You have somebody fighting for you to get the loan, especially minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses. You got to have a relationship.
I was thinking about that. Now, here's the thing, because I've heard this plenty of times. I've been an entrepreneur for 24 years, and in my journey, this is what you always hear. You always hear, you're a startup. We don't offer loans to startup. You don't have any a revenue track record. What do you say to that entrepreneur? Say, I want to go to a bank and get a loan, but I don't have taxes because I'm a startup. And so how am I supposed to, monetize or get some capital in for what I'm trying to do, because I'm just not starting?
Excellent question. I think, excuse me, I think find alternative funding. I have connections who do alternative funding, and they will work with you. I will put
What is
them
that?
in. Alternative funding for people who can't get a loan from the bank because of reasons that you just mentioned. I'm a new business. I'm a startup. I have nothing. They will work with you. They kind of work with the SBA, and they will kind of help work with you, lead you, and guide you so that you can get a loan. Anywhere from, I know in Georgia, anywhere from $500 to $250,000. Can't guarantee it all hours. I can't promise you, but there's a great there's a great chance you will get it. I've met people who've worked on different aspects. They've worked in the front end from the sales, and they've worked on the back end as far as underwriting, doing everything that needs to be done. So I put them in contact with the person, and then my job is to step back. I allow the person I introduce them to work with them and to walk them through the steps. My job is to coach you, to make sure you've done everything what you need to do to get business, for branding, marketing, and things of that sort. But once I've introduced you to someone, now it's up to you to follow through. Now, one of the things I do, Audrey, excuse me, is that depending on who my clients are, I will test them to find out how serious they are. I will give them a list of connections. I need you to call these 5 people. And question I always hear about 80% of the time is, well, Sinclair, when you introduce me, I'm not going to introduce you. Call and mention my name. Not like I'm not all that, but I built a relationship with these people that I don't need to do an introduction. Just call. I say, drop the doc. Hey, Sinclair told me to call you. They'll take it from there, because one, I'm dealing with someone with integrity, someone with who brings a lot of value. So if I say I need you to call these people within a week, or 2 or 3 people in a week, I'll find out if you call them or not. I'll wait probably before my next meeting. I'll call them. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Sinclair, how's it going? Has so and so called you? I've never gotten a call from this person. Oh, okay. Thanks a lot. So when I go to my meeting, have you called these people? Well, no, I haven't called them. Now my coaching goes on a whole different mindset, because I'm like, look, how serious are you with this business? I don't care how busy you are. Everyone has at least 5 or 10 minutes of it. 5 or 10 minutes. If you can go to Starbucks, if you can go to QT, wherever you go, you have time to call somebody, especially when I'm trying to offer a referral. And depending upon who the business and situation is, if I refer and you don't follow up, guess what? I cannot refer any business to you, because now you're now what you've done, you've given me a bad a bad impression.
I had someone reach out to me. I helped her help her publish a book probably about 5 years ago. Okay. And I did a great job, because then she started referring people to me. So I helped a few other people, but now she was trying to get to the next level. And I said to her, I honestly don't have the time to help you get to but I can refer you to some people, right? Referred it to 2 people. Neither one of them. And so what I try to do is I do it in a text message. Hey, such and such, this is such and such. Hey, this is what she needs. This is what she does. No answer. And I'm thinking, so I'm like, so there's no answer in my message. So I reached back out to my past clients and said, hey, did you get any hits from, the person is like, no. And to me, just like you said, I'm like, okay, I can't refer them. So when I talked to the other person, I was like, listen, I sent you somebody, and the message, what I got was, well, I'm so busy. The text got lost. Texts don't get lost. Because we
Exactly.
like this all day long. All day long was like this. So I'm like, really? So in my mind, like you, I was like, well, I can't refer anybody to them anymore. As much as I thought that they were helping people, they could not help my client. And my client was bringing somebody with her, so it would have been two clients, and
Wow.
they never reached out. It would have been two clients, and
But
they never reached out.
I think entrepreneurs, that's when entrepreneurs have to ask themselves, is it time to bring in more help? I
Mm-hmm.
think that, let's use that situation with me, for example. Let's say, oh, you say, what, Sinclair, I got someone I want you to meet with. And that's okay, fine. I could deal with them. And let's say, for example, they say, well, I need to see you on a Friday. I can't meet them on a Friday. I'm booked on that Friday. Can we do, let's say, Monday? I think if it's a particular day, fine. But I think one of the things that entrepreneurs must understand is that you have to learn how to hire people.
Mm-hmm.
If you are that busy, excuse me, I'm sorry, you better learn how to hire, because business will run out.
Mm-hmm.
My father, God rest his soul, my father had a limousine business, and I had just started working on my master's back in the late 90s. And excuse me, he had a great clientele. This one client, oh my gosh, Audrey was really good. I mean, he had it going on. And I said, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
I said, look, man, we need to get some more clientele. We need to get some more clients. He said, no, no, no. This one client is good. They're paying us well. Now, mind you, my father was retired. And
Mm-hmm.
so, he's getting a pension, Social Security, not say it was a lot, but he was getting something in. He's asking me to come on. Okay, fine. I'm working for you. I don't drive. I don't get paid. And so I'm trying to get him to expand his business. He was like, no, no. The one client was good. But all of a sudden, that one client one day said, you know what? We're not going to use limousine business anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're 2 blocks from the metro. We'll use it going to this one main airport, because we'll pass that cost off to our client. The other two airports, Dallas Airport and BWI, no, you can't take a metro there. You needed a limousine. But business was, from driving maybe 5 people a day to now driving maybe 1 or 2 a day,
Mm-hmm.
to now driving, okay, I may not drive for a day or two. And I'm looking at my dad, I'm like, look, man, I'm not getting paid. Well,
Mm-hmm.
businesses dropped out. And I'm like, look, you're getting paid no matter what. If you're not driving for the client anymore, you're still getting your retirement, your investments, whatever you're getting paid, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we had other people working who were happy to be retired as well. But I
Mm-hmm.
say all that to say that entrepreneurs, you should never get so busy enough that you can't hire people. Get to the point whereby you want all the business to come to you. Because I'm gonna tell you, as a coach, if I'm having business that I need 1 or 2 other people, I need to hire 1 or 2 other people, because guess what? That's more money coming into my business. And then that's more customers we're able to serve, and then they can refer. So I think entrepreneurs are making a very tragic mistake, especially solopreneurs, that say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm too busy. Well, and we hear it all the time. I go to networking events. Thank goodness we can go back to networking events now.
Mm-hmm.
I follow up, and they say, well, I'm too busy. Why'd you come to a networking event? You came to give out business cards. So you're just a quota person. And I can always know. So I teach people how to network. But if you're going to a networking event to just pass out cards and hoping somebody calls you, it's not going to happen. You definitely need to make sure that you're ready to get new business. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, and you know how it is, you never know who that client is. You refer somebody to somebody, you never know who that person knows. You may not know, you know the person from a certain perspective, but you never know who that person knows. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think entrepreneurs do a disservice to themselves when they say, oh, I'm too busy, when they don't follow up. And also, if I could add in, and forgive me for talking a lot,
No, go
but
ahead.
When I talk to people, I have some good colleagues. They always like to ask me, so Sinclair, if I refer somebody to you, what's the best way? And I tell them I can text, email, or phone. I say preferably give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a call first, email second, text third. Now, if you text me, I'm going to respond to a text, but I prefer a phone call. You call me, perfect. So I think people need to understand, don't put your email address on a business card if you never check your email address.
Right. Exactly. I gotta tell you this because I have a small team of three right now. Was me and two others who helped me make Good Morning Gwinnett possible. But I'm in the process of scaling, and
Okay.
so Good Morning Gwinnett is only one podcast, but I have three, four. Right. I have four podcasts that I produce.
Okay.
Right. I can't scale that by myself. And I said, okay, I have to. And this is what I just recently did, Sinclair. I just sat down and said, okay, I need to put SOPs in place so I can bring on a VA so they can know exactly what they need to do. So I can just sit here and run my mouth. Right. And not that that's all I do, but that's a big part of building this network. And because
Is that?
podcasting is hot right now, podcasting is on fire and it's an industry that anybody can get into. They just need the right blueprint. And so I've been doing it. I've been podcasting since about 2009, right?
Okay.
Before it was an industry. It wasn't an industry then. Now it's an industry that's on fire so much to the point that Facebook is saying, now we're going to do podcasts. I was like, what? It started this week, I think. But I realized if I want to scale this business and grow this podcast network, which is a media and advertising company, because that's what I'm growing, I got to hire somebody. And I sat down and said, okay, I need to hire someone and I need to do some SOP so that they know exactly what I need them to do. Because it's not a hard business. It just has all these moving parts because I think outside the box. And so right now, to give you a prime example, right now we're streaming on Facebook and Roku. So anybody with a Roku device, they can watch us, right? That's how my mind thinks. And so I need to be able to have that person put an SOP in place so they can say, okay, when Audrey get off this stream, all these things need to be done with that episode. Instead of me trying to do them all, because now I can't do the things that I want to do because I'm worried about all the other little tiny things. So you're right about that. But I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, hiring somebody is a fear of giving up control. So what do you say to that person?
Wow. Well, I think one has to understand it's not control, it's getting out of your way and and and
Mhm.
and being secure in who you are. You're not asking them to be the owner. I think you need to write down what it is that you need for them to work on and and
Right.
and and let them do it and not micromanage them. I think too many
Mhm.
times people are like, oh my gosh, if I hire somebody, they're gonna run my business. Well, no, not really. You're a leader. If you're a leader, you look at them as a manager. You give them the vision, let them run it. um,
Mhm.
Give them control, empower them, and then you can do other things. But I think what people have to do when you're hiring somebody, you're just not bringing on an employee. You're bringing on someone who's going to buy into your vision, who's going to help you grow your vision. And I think when you help them to see it as such, then you don't have an employee. You have someone says, you know what, I like your vision. I'm buying into your vision, and I want to help you, help you accomplish your vision. But in the process, what you're doing, you're also helping them and training them for them to do what they need to do. You know,
Mhm.
uh, Here, you may say, I'm gonna teach you how to do certain podcasts. They may not want to have their own podcast. They may say, well, you know what? I want to own my own consulting for organizational management. Hello, I'm showing you some things on how to do this. Now I'm helping you push you towards your dream by working for me. So I think everything has to be a partnership and don't think of it as a control. I'm not a Starbucks fan, but Howard Schwartz, who was running it at one
Mhm.
time, he started his first Starbucks almost on every corner, like barbershops in many cases.
Mhm.
He's not going to every store becoming a manager. That's why he had managers, shift leaders, and district managers and VPs. Let them do everything. You
Mhm.
empower them, and then he gets to do the investments and do whatever he needs to do. So I think people have to really get that out of their head. It's your business, but you want people to help you in your business. Get out
And
of your own way.
That's exactly true. And it's so funny because even with myself, like I host a podcast right now, but my goal is not to be talking, 7 days a week. That's not my goal.
Exactly.
I understand, I understand the platform and how powerful it is, but right now that's where I am. But I do know that I have to train people to come in. I think the other thing too, I heard somebody say this on one of my mastermind calls. They were like, we don't just hire anybody. They have to take a disc assessment because we need to
Mhm.
know, can they do the things that we have in this SOP? And I was like, wow, that is so smart.
Yeah,
Because sometimes you can hire people, and you want them to do a good job, but if you put them in the wrong position, they're not going to do a good job. No
exactly.
matter how much they want to do a good job, they're just not. And I was like, that is so freaking smart. Because I think I took the disc when I was going into college. Like, what would you be good at? Right. And so I took the disc, and now people are using the disc to bring on not just, virtual assistants. They're like, we need to know that the virtual assistants that we hire, they're going to do these things right here that we need to get done. So if you're not, I forgot what, it's the Ninja Turtles, like, God, what, all the Ninja Turtles, they all got a name, Leo, whatever. So they're these personality types with these names of the Ninja Turtles. And I thought that was so smart because I'm at that space right now. So I will take this time and just write out exactly what I need to get done. If you can't do that, then I can't hire you. And it's nothing
Right.
personal. It's just that you're not gonna be beneficial to myself or you to grow because you're gonna hate what you do. And I think that's the worst thing in the world is to be in a position that it's like grunt work for you. Like this for
Mhm.
me is like I get up every day. I put this makeup on when I got a gas, and I'm excited, right?
Right.
Every day, like 40 a week. It's not grunt work for me, but when you gotta grunt it out, that's you may want to check yourself and say, maybe I'm in the wrong position. And so
I
have
agree.
you worked with owners who, they started out doing one thing and they realize I really hate this. This ain't what I want to do. Have you worked with
Yes.
people like that? What have you told them?
Well, before I tell them find something else, I tell them, I say, go on a vacation. Go on a vacation for anywhere from from a few days to about a week. Clear your mind. I think a lot of times people get excited and everything is going fine. Then they hit adversity. Not enough clients. Things aren't going well. Money's looking funny and the change is strange. And they're tired. I may say, look, go away for a while. And most of the clients I've done that with, they've never thought about going away because they say, oh my gosh, what about my business? What about my business? Shut the business down. If you're complaining now, don't worry about it. I need you to get away. Clear your mind. Please don't take your computer. Don't take your laptop. Just get away. I don't care where you go. Just get away. And then most of them have come back. So you know what? I'm renewed because they get burnt out. And I and I and
Hmm.
and, and I think I think with me, I have to be very transparent with this, Audrey. Coaching and speaking, you do it. Especially because I do a lot of writing, not as much as I used to. I just get tired of them. Oh my gosh, I don't feel like writing today. I'm tired,
Hmm.
and I write inspirational messages every day, sometimes twice a day. And a lot of times I get tired, and I'm like, you know what? Wow, I gotta do it another. Because at first I was doing 5 days a week. Now I'm doing 7 days a week.
Hmm.
Doesn't take me long, but every now and again, I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't feel like writing. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing this. And I've thought about quitting. I'm like, no, I can't quit because this is a passion. This is a calling. It's not something I woke up and chose to do. And I want to help all the entrepreneurs. You just can't wake up and say, okay, this is what I want. It has to be a calling because that calling will push you. And it's not to say you won't get tired. And
Hmm.
I think one of the best advice I got, it was interesting with my wife before we got married. I was writing some articles and I told her, I said, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm tired of looking at this computer. I said, I've been looking at this computer for 2 hours. I'm editing articles. I'm tired. She told me, she said, do me a favor. She said, ask somebody to watch your computer, go around in the little neighborhood park. If your listeners probably familiar with Covington. I was in downtown Covington. She said, walk around the park, walk around the circle, just walk around for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm like, I got work to do. She said, trust me, walk around for about 30 minutes, leave your computer there and just walk. And I'm like, wow, cleared my mind. And
Hmm.
I think what happens is that sometimes we can get frustrated doing something during the day. And it's okay. It's okay to say that. Just walk, clear your mind. Like I have to be transparent on me. A lot of times I may get frustrated. Okay, you know what? I don't know what to write. Should I still be writing? You know what? I need to make some coffee. Let me go make some coffee. turn on some jazz for about 20, 30 minutes. Like, whoo, okay, now my energy is refueled. And by the time I get back to the computer, I'm on. And I think people have to
Mhm.
get like that, you know. I did, I didn't put it in my bio, Audrey. I used to be on Love 860 in Atlanta when I
Mhm.
first in Georgia, and I had a weekly show. It was for 1 hour, and it was good at times, but there's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go there. I gotta do this show. What am I going to talk about? How's the guest? I got to worry about this drive, and I'm like, I used to get so frustrated. Um, First 4 months, I'm loving it. Fifth month, I'm like, wow, I'm tired. And it was a mall. I think was it the Underground when the Underground was going downhill. I would go there, go to Burger King, give me something to eat, and excuse me, I met this gentleman. He was homeless, but he always washed cars. So I
Mhm.
would pay $10 to wash my truck, and we would just have a conversation, and get something, bring him something. And after I left, he will always drop something in my spirit. I'm like, you know what? Thanks a lot, bro. I'm like, you gave me
Mhm.
my energy. So I made that a part of my weekly ritual. And and I think what happens is that we do get tired. We can love everything we want, but we will get tired. And the question is, what are we doing for our mental health? What are we doing for our emotional health to really get back? But I say all that to say, tell people you get tired, you get frustrated, take a break. Take a
Take a
break.
break.
Go on a mini vacation. Like make it 4 days, then come back. It's okay, fine. Is this something I really want to do? And then really hire a coach and really have a heart to heart talk with yourself and ask
Yeah.
yourself the question, why are you running? Are you running because you don't know what to do? Are you tired or are you just scared?
That is so true. Mondays are always my busiest day because I
Oh
come
yeah.
off the weekend. So I try to, like, today is my Friday. I try to shut it down on Thursday. It doesn't shut down. I just don't produce the show. But
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff that don't get done because I was like, okay, I'm not doing it. Sundays, I kind of shut it all the way down. And so Mondays, I'm usually like doing everything for the week or getting ready for the week. But this past Monday, I had meeting after meeting after meeting. So my daughter called me. I said, listen, I just got to go lay down for a minute. Like, I am drained right now. And I went and I laid down for literally 30 minutes and jumped up. I felt great. So you're absolutely right about that. You just have to recharge sometimes. You have to know that, you know what, I'm tired. I need to recharge. And that may be taking a walk. Heck, it may be laying on your bed. Some people got to take power naps, whatever it is, recharge so you can come back out and do a great job. And for you, when you were going to the underground, just being able to talk to this guy, buy him some food, you get your car. Listen, I don't know about y'all. When my car is clean, my house is clean, my hair is done, I'm
You
good.
you
I
on,
feel
yeah.
great. I feel great. So, that's just how I am. So listen, Dr. Sinclair, this has been amazing. I would love to have you come back because there was a lot of stuff I
Anytime.
still never got a chance to get to. And I really, really, really want to see, because I feel like this is not by chance that I asked Georgette to book you. She's my producer. She does a great job in getting me people. But I feel like Alamo is going to be something special.
Yes.
And I want to know about the journey because I feel like that could be a blueprint or a model for other small towns like Alamo to kind of follow and have some increased economic development, even when they think there's none. Because like you said, you just got to think outside the box. Got to take
Yeah.
a look at the big picture of the area. And I'm sure there's some amazing people in Alamo, even though it's a small town. They just don't know how amazing they are. But I'm sure that they're going to get to meet you and your wife, and you're going
Yeah.
to show them, listen, you guys are amazing. And because you have technology, that pretty much changes the game for anybody at this point. And so
Exactly.
um, I would love to have you come back at a later
Anytime.
date to talk about. I will, and so you can tell us what's happening with Alamo. I just, building Alamo. I don't know, create a whole show around it. I'm like, here I go, create a whole show. There's a show called Hometown. It's a home improvement show. Comes on HGTV.
Okay.
They went over to Wetumpka, which is in Alabama, and they went there to rebuild the town. I think there was a tornado that went through there and tore up
Okay.
stuff. And so they got the whole town involved in the process of rebuilding, and everybody was so excited because I think a lot of times small town people feel like they get left out, like nobody cares. They kind of get left out. And
Mhm.
so, listen, when I think about creating content to show the journey, pick your phone up and just shoot and just show it. And I think people are being inspired by that, especially small town people who feel like, you know what, we're just like Alamo. Nobody cares. There's no industry here. There are no jobs. We got homeless situations. I'm in Gwinnett County. There's homeless situations
Oh
like
yeah,
5 miles from me. So, they're everywhere. But certain towns can it's kind of quiet as
exactly.
kept because they can stay an extended stay and drive through and nobody knows you. But there are other ones that they can't. It's not quiet as kept. And so I would
You
love to
see the
bring you
bullshit.
back and just yeah, and just bring you back and talk about the journey, like where you are with that whole process, and just give other small towns an opportunity to say, what, we can take his blueprint and help our small town, build up, and get rid of the prisons, in the town. I don't.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a fight. You have a fighting hand for that one, but we're gonna talk about
Yes.
that at a later date.
Yes.
How can
Yes.
people contact you if they want to get involved with what you're doing and get your help as a coach? How can they contact you?
Wonderful. You can contact me a couple ways. Website sinclairgray.org. Spell my name SINCLAIRGREY.org. You can email me at sinclair@sinclairgray.org, or you can call me up at 678-516-0779. I read every email and I answer all my phone calls.
Well, I'm gonna
So
call you, so be looking out. And I
anytime.
won't be. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Miami for a shutdown. I'll be back on Tuesday, and But I wanna. I know. Are you in the metro area? Where are you located?
I'm in Conyers.
Okay. So you're in Conyers. Okay, cool. So I will be reaching out to you so we can because I know Georgette said you wanted to talk to me about something that
Yes.
you guys got going on.
Yes.
And so I will be reaching out. Is next week too late to reach out to you when I come back?
You can call me anytime.
Okay.
Call me
Maybe.
anytime. And
Oh,
enjoy yourself in Miami, Florida. Have some fun.
yes, that's the plan. I'm excited about that. So, but anyway, thank you again for being here so much. I really appreciate you spending the time with us to share, all your wisdom about entrepreneurship. And I look forward to seeing your journey with Alamo.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. God bless you and all your listeners.
Thank you. All right, listen, guys, that's all I got for you. But I'm going to go to my word of inspiration for the day, and I'll come back right after this song to bring you that inspiration. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I try to bring you the best of the best, to talk to you and help you live out your dreams. So Dr. Sinclair was gracious enough to bless us with his presence and his wisdom. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to go to my last song before I close it out. It's my Friday, and I'm about to get ready to get on this plane. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm tongue-tied, twisted around your finger like a piece of string. I'm winded, chasing after your ghost is real exhausting. I'm in love, but I don't think it's what I thought it was supposed to be. Love story, no guts and no glory. How did I get so dizzy? Thinking of you, I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be that I never had that kiss? Well, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Like that. Like reminded of how I met you, tried to catch you falling. Instead, I fell off myself and I just can't stop falling. These wings are gonna flap for me if I keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. How did I get so dizzy? Thinking of you, I don't usually get like this. I don't get like it's something about you I miss. Could it be that I never had that kiss? I just wanna kiss you. Well, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Like that. No, get She loves me not. This bouquet is all I got. I'm dreaming, or could it be the future for you and me? She loves me, I know it's true. Maybe I'm the fool for you. I don't usually get like this. It's something about who I'm with. Could it be we never had that kiss? Yeah, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Oh, get like this. Oh, get like this.
Welcome back. So listen, guys, it's time for me to say love be, baby. It's time for me to say love be. But before I go, I want to give you my word of inspiration for the day. And I thought this was pretty cute. Here it goes. It says, to succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. Let me say that one more time. To succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. Reba McEntire said that, and she was absolutely right. You need those three things. First, you need that wishbone. You need not just a wishbone, you need a vision bone. You need the wishbone. You got to know that what's in your heart can happen. You got to wish it to your reality, though, right? But you got to do more than just wish. But you need to start out right there. Then you need the backbone, because let me tell y'all something. Whatever you're trying to succeed at, it's going to take some work. So you need the backbone to put in the work to be able to hold you up when times get rough and tough and you want to give up. Yes. And then you need a funny bone, because you don't want to take yourself so seriously all the time. You want to be able to relax for a second. Dr. Sinclair just told us we need to relax for a minute. Take a minute, take a breath. As a matter of fact, take two. Breathe, stop for a second. So you got to have that. You got to have some enjoyment in your life. Yes, the road to success can be a bumpy road. It could be a serious road, but don't be so serious all the time. Trust me, I know I've been there. I live there. I'm there right now, like I'm talking to you, but in a minute, I will be off here talking to you. I'll be getting me something to eat, and then I'll be right back here working. But you have to take a minute for relaxation. You have to take a minute just to enjoy your life, because life can be short. It can be short. So listen, start the business, start the journey, start the sports, whatever it is you're trying to do. Write the song, write the book, record your first film, whatever it is. Just don't take yourself so seriously. And remember, you got to have a backbone, but it all starts with a wishbone. All right, listen, that's all I got for you today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last hour and 30 minutes with me. Yes, we talked a lot today. I love and appreciate you, the life of that. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett, and follow me on the Twitter at GM Gwinnett. Also, if you like this episode and you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, go to Apple Podcasts, find your favorite 2 episodes, give it 5 stars. And be sure to download the app from the App Store. Whether you have an Android phone or Apple phone, there is an app for that. So download the Good Morning Gwinnett from the Apple Store. Good Morning Gwinnett app from the App Store to your phone. That way you never miss an episode. And if you want to listen to me on Sundays, because that's your time to relax, you just want to hear me talk, tell Alexa, open Good Morning Gwinnett, and she will open Good Morning Gwinnett. Listen, if you like podcasting, you're a woman, you really want to learn how to podcast, the Podchix University is starting July 13th. That's PODCHIX. Go ahead, join the academy. I'm going to teach you what I've learned over the last, about 13 years about podcasting. And I've learned a lot. This is an amazing industry, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an athlete, whether you're an author, whatever it is, if you have a message to share, if you just want to get out there and spread some love, this is a great platform to do so. And I can help walk you through that process. Be sure to go to Podchix. That's put the www in there, www.podchix.com, podchixuniversity.com, and sign up for the academy. It starts July 13th and it will run through September. So there are different classes there. You can take the podcast 101, or you can take the branding. If you already have a podcast, you just want to start branding, and learning how to stream on platforms like Amazon Fire TV and Roku and Alexa and all that good stuff, you might want to just take the Brand Academy. So anyway, podcasting is a great way for you to become a local hero in your community, because you are shining the spotlight on your local community, businesses, political leaders, local government leaders and officials. This is a great way for you to put your hands in the community and have some fun doing it at the same time. So listen, thank you again for listening. I'll be back again next week. I can't tell you if it's Monday or Tuesday, but I won't miss too many days. I'll be back and I'll bring you all that I do, more of the horoscopes, the business national holiday, and an amazing guest. So thank you again for listening. Stay safe out there. Love your hug your loved ones and tell them you love them. Stay safe out there. Until next time, y'all. Make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.